We've all been there, right? You see those flashing red and blue lights in the rearview mirror, your heart absolutely sinks. And before you know it, yep, you're holding a pricey piece of paper. But hey, here's the silver lining. If you got that citation in Manatee County, Florida, you don't actually have to take time off work or stand in those notoriously long courthouse lines. You can literally handle the whole shebang right from your couch. Welcome to this explainer. We're going to break down exactly how the Manatee County Clerk's digital systems work so you can resolve this headache quickly, correctly, and just move on with your life.
So you've got a Manatee County ticket. Now what? Think of this kind of like a high-stakes, choose-your-own-adventure game. The second that ticket hits your hand, you're entered into a pretty strict legal workflow managed by the clerk of court. And the moves you make, or, forget to make, over the next few weeks, they completely determine if you just pay a simple fine, or if you end up with points on your license, massive late fees, or even a suspended driver's license.
Now, the absolute most important number you need to remember today is 30. You have exactly 30 calendar days from the date on that ticket to take legal action. It is a very strict ticking clock. If you let day 31 roll around without making a move, there is a real risk the state will suspend your driver's license, plus you're going to get hit with some heavy delinquent fees. So whatever you do not ignore that clock.
To help you beat that clock, here's our roadmap for today. We'll cover the 30-day ticking clock, navigating the PayChoice portal, payment methods and fees, the $10 dismissal, special cases and scam alerts, and finish up with a final checklist and disclaimer.
All right, jumping right into that 30-day ticking clock.
Within your 30-day window, you essentially have 3 distinct paths you can take. Option 1 is you can simply pay the ticket. But listen, just a quick heads up here, paying the fine actually counts as an admission of guilt, and for moving violations, that usually means points on your license. Option 2, you can plead not guilty and request a court hearing in writing. Or, option 3, you can elect to take an approved basic driver improvement course, basically traffic school, which is a great way to avoid those points while still satisfying the citation.
And you might be wondering how they actually come up with the fine amount. Well, it's not just random. The clerk calculates it based on 3 specific variables. First is the class of the violation, so whether it's moving, non-moving, or bicycle/pedestrian. Second, if you are speeding, the exact miles per hour over the limit dictates your fine tier. And finally, the zone type. This is a big one. For example, if you are caught doing 15 over in an active school zone, you can expect that base fine to literally double.
Okay, let's move on to navigating the PayChoice portal.
So the main way to handle this digitally in Manatee County is through a secure web platform built by a company called Civitech. It's actually super straightforward. Just head over to the official website, manateeclerk.com, and look for the Online Services directory. From there, the system lets you securely search for, review, and completely pay off your citation without ever having to step foot inside a courthouse.
Which brings us to our next point, payment methods and fees.
Honestly, what's really cool about the PayChoice system today is how totally integrated it is with modern fintech. Obviously, you can use your standard credit cards, Visa, MasterCard, Discover, Amex, but they also take digital wallets. So we're talking PayPal, Apple Pay, Google Pay, and even Venmo. Or, if you're more old school and prefer a direct bank draft, you can just process an e-check using your routing and account numbers.
But wait, before you double-click that Apple Pay button, you really need to know about the convenience fee. There is a non-refundable 3.5% fee tacked onto all card and digital wallet transactions. And just to be clear, the clerk's office doesn't keep that. It's a processing fee from the platform provider. But still, if you've got a hefty fine from, say, a construction zone ticket, that 3.5% is going to add up pretty fast.
So here is a little insider pro tip for you to save some cash. Let's look at the fee structure side by side. While cards and digital wallets hit you with that percentage-based 3.5% fee, using an e-check usually only carries a flat $5 transaction fee. To put that into perspective, if your ticket is over $143, that 3.5% fee is definitely going to be more than $5. For larger fines, taking an extra minute to type in your checking account and routing number could absolutely save you some hard-earned money.
Next up, let's talk about something called the $10 dismissal.
If the officer wrote you a ticket specifically for failure to carry or display a valid driver's license, registration, and/or proof of insurance, you'll want to listen very closely to this. If you actually had valid documents at the exact time you were pulled over, like maybe you just left your wallet on the kitchen counter or you couldn't get the PDF of your new insurance card to load on your phone, you absolutely do not have to pay that full fine.
There's actually an amazing loophole here. You can get an administrative dismissal by following 3 super simple steps. First, just gather the proof showing your document was totally valid at the time of the stop. Second, grab a copy of your citation. And third, pay a minor $10 in dismissal fee. And the best part? You don't even have to go in person. You can literally just scan and email high-resolution copies of your valid documents and the ticket straight to traffic@manateeclerk.com. Now, if you decide to mail in your proof and that $10 fee instead of emailing, please make sure you use the right address, because honestly, it can be a bit confusing. For standard mail, you're going to use P.O. Box 25400 in Bradenton. But if that 30-day clock is running out and you need to overnight it, or if you just want to drop it off in person, you absolutely have to use their physical address at 1115 Manatee Avenue West.
All right, moving into special cases and scam alerts.
Let's look at some exceptions. Say you spent a gorgeous day at a Manatee County beach, but you came back to a parking ticket stuck to your windshield. Do not go to the clerk's website for that. Beach parking tickets are actually issued by Manatee County Code Enforcement, so they use a totally different specialized portal operated by that specific department. The clerk of court literally cannot process those for you.
Here's another weird historical exception. Manatee County actually shut down its red light camera program back in October 2022. But if you somehow have an old, outstanding red light citation from before that date, you can't use the online Pay Choice portal to pay it. It won't work. You'll actually have to call the traffic division directly at 941-741-4060 to get that sorted out.
Also, we need to talk about scams, because scammers are out there aggressively targeting people with fake tickets. Please hear this official warning from the clerk's office. No law enforcement officer will call you with threat of arrest due to an unpaid or late citation. Never, ever give your payment info or credit card number to someone calling you on the phone. Legitimate, official notices about late citations only ever come through standard mail on official letterhead, period.
Okay, let's wrap this up with a final checklist and disclaimer. If you're the kind of person who prefers dealing in cash, or you just really don't want to mess with online portals, you've got some great alternatives. You can actually take your citation and cash to literally any AmScot location. What's awesome about that is AmScot branches are open 7 days a week, making it super convenient, though they do charge a tiny service fee. Or you can just pay with cash during normal business hours right at the clerk's cashiering division on Manatee Avenue West.
Quick disclaimer before we go, this explainer is strictly for educational purposes, just to help you wrap your head around how the Manatee County Clerk's systems and policies work. It does not constitute legal advice. If you have specific questions about, say, pleading not guilty, or how points are going to impact your auto insurance, you really should consult with a qualified traffic attorney.
We've covered the strict timelines, the fees, the awesome $10 loopholes, and all the digital tools in your arsenal. The system is actually really efficient once you know how to navigate it. So I'm going to leave you with this. Are you going to let that 30-day clock run out and risk getting your license suspended? Or are you going to log on to manateeclerk.com and get this handled today? The choice and the power is entirely in your hands. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and good luck.